What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and my cluttered mess on this table because this P51 has not been finished yet. Actually, it hasn't even been started yet, and the reason for that is because, well, I didn't want to spend over $1,000 on putting the electronics in this thing through Horizon Hobby, so I picked apart the internet and decided to go with some cheaper but just as efficient parts to put into this thing. So first off, we're going to start by unboxing the most important part of this plane, and that just came in today, and that is our engine. Alright, so this is a company called NGH. They're made in China. Most of these freaking things are made in China anyways. But this is the GTT70. Come on, buddy, get down. I'll take care of you in a minute. The GTT70, which is it means a 70cc engine, 70 cubic centimeter, two-stroke engine, gasoline powered. So let's get into it. It does come with the mufflers. I'm not sure if these canisters, I'm going to use these canisters or not, but I don't see why not. They're not polished, which I can't see the inside of them. We'll check that in a minute. We'll see if they're polished inside. Actually, I think you can see that right there. Are they polished inside? Doesn't look like they're polished inside. Doesn't matter. We're probably going to end up using, this is the ignition system. So you got your ignition system, carburetor, and we'll go into more detail on this in a minute. I just want to get everything out of the box. This is the bracket for mounting, I believe. This is the mounting bracket. Yes, that's the mounting bracket. I will be changing my firewall, my mounting firewall, to aluminum, and I will be mounting it to an aluminum firewall just for extra stability, extra strength, just in case this motor wants to rip the front of the plane off. This plane is only recommended to have a 60cc engine on it, so I'm putting a 70cc engine on it, and what I'm hoping is that this isn't going to be as torquey as the 61cc engine that normally goes on this aircraft right here. I'm hoping that this is that they'll kind of play off one another. It'll work out to my benefit. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take this out, and we're gonna go ahead and get a good look at it. Oh, what a beauty, huh? Let's turn this crank out here and see them pistons move. Now, I believe. No, there's rings on there. Okay, I thought this was a ringless system. I thought it was ringless, but it's not. But you can hear that compression, though. And what I'm listening for right now is any scratching or rubbing. Sounds solid. It sounds solid, you guys. Oh my goodness. This is a beast of a motor, too. And this thing is going to sit right on the front of this plane. Boom, right up in there. So I'm going to have to actually make some cutouts on the side of the plane and on the bottom part of the cowling. And that's pretty much it for the engine part of it. I can't wait to get this thing started up. The ignition system. And for you guys, for those of you guys that don't know, I've got somebody that's helping me out with the Tyrannus. And this thing is going to be flown on the Tyrannus just because of all the telemetry stuff it has built into it. I really, really, really need to get that Tyrannus figured out, because that's what's going to be flying this plane. Just because it has the telemetry already built into it. I got up to 16 channels I can use in it, so that's definitely the way I'm going to go. It's got these cute little spark plugs that go with it. Now, for you guys that don't know, this is not a glow engine. This is a gasoline engine. This thing runs on gas and I think a mixture of two-stroke oil. So just a little bit of two-stroke oil, some gasoline, and this thing is going. I will be a little untraditional. I'm not going to be flying the four-bladed prop that they have for this thing. I am going to be using a two-bladed prop that is going to make this thing scream across the sky. But anyways, guys, everything looks good. You know, I'm feeling the screws, and you know, I'm seeing that everything's been tightened down real nice. This mounting bracket, I'm not sure if I'll be using that one. Actually, I'll have to use that one. But as far as the firewall goes, I'll be reinforcing the front of this thing with some aluminum and running the aluminum down the side and tacking it in there. And also, that's going to help keep the engine from ripping away from the firewall. Not to mention, if we have a nose-in crash with this thing and the engine survives and everything survives, I can bend that aluminum back. As far as balsa wood goes, you're going to have to replace it and remodel it with the aluminum front on it. It's just going to be bending it back into place and reinstalling the engine and stuff like that. So just a lot going on at one time. We have another box over here, and I believe this is from Motion RC, and this is going to be my servos. So what I did was I went on and I checked out what are the specs, the torque specs that this plane is. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so what I did is I went online and I looked for the torque specs, like on the flaps, the elevator, the ailerons. Now, the elevators need these low-profile, torquey, high torque, high voltage servos for the back of this plane. And I will be getting those from Horizon. They're pretty much the only ones that make them for this particular plane. It's kind of like it's a low-profile servo. That's all I can tell you guys. It's a low-profile servo that goes to the tail of this thing. Also, I was checking the ailerons and the rudder, all that stuff, steerable wheel, all that shit. Now, what I found was that I could take a 17-gram servo from Motion RC, bada bing, bada boom, right here. You see that? Actually, these are the 30-gram servos. I'm sorry. These 30-gram servos right here are the same servos that are used in the F-14, that are used in the Freewing Warthog. So these things can take some push. They're Metal Gear, high voltage servos. So they should be able to withstand whatever I can throw at them. And look what we got here, boys. Hinges. Nice. Those are hinges for the Focke-Wulf, of course. And then right here, we've got a 17-gram servo right here. Digital Metal Gear servo, 17 gram. This is going to be for the steerable nose, or the steerable tail wheel and the rudder. That's what this is going to be controlling right here. So, and then, so all I need now is 2 servos for the elevators. Oh, what else do we need? The retracts. All right, so I've run into a little bit of a problem with the retracts on this thing. They are discontinued, so I'm going to have to buy the kit that they sell, and I'm going to have to figure out my own retract system, or retract whatever. I also have a couple of 9-gram Metal Gear 9-gram servos that will be running the throttle and the gear door sequencer for the gear doors, of course, because this does have working gear doors. The sequencer, the gear doors go up. When they open up, the wheels come down and then they reclose again. So that's actually pretty cool. So they don't get snagged on the ground and ripped off and shit like that. This plane has a very, very bulldogishly, like pit bullishly stance when it's on the ground, which means it kind of sits low to the ground when it's on its wheels. So the chance of those getting ripped off, there is a chance that they can get ripped off. But anyways, guys, I just thought that I would show you guys the new engine that is going into the P51. Now, this is all going to be new to me, okay? I've never had a nitro plane. I've never had a gas engine plane. So this is all going to be new to me. And I'm probably going to need some help, you guys, along the way. I can definitely tell that I'm going to have to do some cutting and carving and modding in the front to get this engine to fit in there properly. But other than that, super happy, guys. I'm super happy. I finally got the engine. This thing came with everything, like the fuel tank and the hoses and stuff for the fuel tank. So that I have all that stuff. Basically, it's just getting this thing set up, getting the carburetor put on it, getting it set up, and firing it up for the first time on some gasoline with a little bit of 2-stroke oil in it, and seeing how it goes. I think it'll be great. I think it's going to be awesome. I've seen a couple of these running online already. And his wasn't running too good because he didn't have the right size canisters on his. I, however, have the stock ones that go on it, so it should be just fine. I should get most of the power that I'm supposed to get out of this thing. And if there's anything that I can do to boost the octane or whatever, to get a little bit more out of it, then you can leave the comments in the section leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how, what, when, where, how to even start this thing. That would be a good way to start right there. Skip, if you could talk to your buddy there and just ask him how you set it up, what kind of a battery I'm going to need to set it up. It says right there 4.8 to 8.4 volts, so I'm imagining that a LiPo battery or a Li-Fi or LiPo should work to run a pulse to the spark plugs to get this thing started. But like I said, I'm a total newbie, so don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's even the way it works or how it works or whatever. But I do know that within the week, we'll have this thing having gas run to it, and we will have it started up on the front porch. I have to go buy a prop for it. I'm going to run a 2-bladed wooden prop. Not that you guys know damn good and well, if you've been watching my channel, that I don't give a shit about scale. All I care about is throwing these things around in the air and just having a fun time doing it. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's the show for today. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So that's that, guys. The next step from here is I've got 6 servos that are showing up. I got 2 for the ailerons, or 2 for the rudder, or 2 for the flaps. I've got 1 for the engine, 1 for the sequencer gear doors, and what else? And then I have aileron servos here. So I'm hoping, if these are not strong enough, and I will put them through the test, if these servos are not strong enough to run the ailerons on this plane, I did buy 2 backup 20 kilogram servos. So these are like foreign servos. They're cheap and they're high torque, high voltage, all the good things that you need to know about a servo. All the good things. I believe they're digital metal gear, high torque, high voltage servos. So and those are the big honking ones. Those are big. Those are big servos. So those are going to be the ones that I use if these freewing ones don't stand up to the task. Now, that A10 Warthog, I've had that thing screaming through across the air at 80 miles an hour. This plane is not going to go no 80 miles an hour. And if those servos can take the aileron pressure on that plane, then I'm assuming that it shouldn't be an issue on this plane. But I just watched the video, flight test. You guys are great. I love watching you guys' videos. And their big thing is don't underdo it, always overdo it. Because if you underdo it, you're going to cost yourself a plane. If you overdo it, then you got some mighty strong servos in your plane. That's it. So don't underdo it. Always kind of go over, that mark that you're looking for. All the specs say that these will work in this plane. But I'm not convinced yet. I want to see what the other servos look like, and then I'll make my decision then. But that's it, guys. I'm Dave. This is Dave's RC. I hope you guys like this unbox video of the NGH70cc 2-stroke twin. I'm super excited. It looks beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's very rugged. Very rugged. It's not polished. It's got like this sandblasted look to it, but it's really pretty nonetheless. And hopefully we get a lot of good flights out of it before we change over to the next engine that we're putting in it. This is just a starter motor. This motor cost me $300 and some odd. This engine right here is a good starting point for anybody that's going to start out on a gasoline engine, I think. As long as the damn thing runs good. If it doesn't run good, then oh well. Sell it on eBay and buy a better engine. The engine that's going to go in this thing is actually going to be a DLE. But okay, I've talked enough. You guys, I am out of here. I'm Dave. This is Dave's RC. Peace.